I'm Anna Tavis, Chair of the Human Capital Management Department here at NYU, and I am thrilled to launch today's session. This is a moment we've been waiting for quite some time. Um, as you may have heard, we have decided to really create a specialty in coaching and coaching as it is practiced in organizations, in the space of career, life, and other aspects of coaching. And we are writing a new chapter in our portfolio of programs dedicated to different applications of coaching. We believe at NYU that coaching is the future of learning because of the nature of the methodology involved, such as very personalized, focused on empowering the individual who is being trained. So based on this methodology, we're looking at where the coaching is going next. And we've discovered that health and wellness and well-being is really the future of coaching, even in organizations where in order to create a whole person and support and motivate a whole person, the aspects of health, wellness, well-being are absolutely critical, and coaching will be the method involved in, enabling, encouraging, and unleashing that powers of individual by balancing their productive and work-related side and their health and well-being overall. So without further ado, I want to introduce our team. And that is Renee Guyron, who is the Director, Administrative Support for the program. And most importantly, the center in the center of this particular project is Dr. Jessica Singh, who is a board certified emergency Yale trained physician who has discovered coaching as a way of continuing to practice her art and her skill. And Jessica has spent a whole year with us developing this very sophisticated program. And today's session will be dedicated to talking to you about what will be involved, the curriculum, the requirements, etc. And without further ado, I want to move on and invite to this screen stage both Renee and Jessica to talk about the certification program. Thank you all very much for joining.
Thank you, Anna. As Anna mentioned, this program has been a year full force, but nearly 2 years in the making. So we're very excited to be talking to you about it today. My name is Renee Guyron. I'm the program administrator for the Human Capital Management Department. So I oversee our certificate continuing education portfolios. I'm going to be talking first a little bit about the administrative side of the certificate, so how it's laid out, some policies and procedures, how you can register. And then Dr. Singh will be getting into the meat and potatoes, so to speak, of the program. Like I said earlier, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat or the Q&A. We'll be addressing those probably as we go along, but we'll also have some time at the end of the session to answer all of those questions. So this certificate, the Certificate in Health and Wellbeing Coaching, is a 3-course certificate. We have Foundations of Health and Wellbeing Coaching, Coaching Theory and Skills for Health and Wellbeing, and then the final course is Advanced Skills in Health and Wellbeing Coaching and Practical Applications. It is very similar if you're familiar with our executive and professional coaching certificates. The structure is very similar. The classes will be 12 weeks long. They'll meet once a week on Zoom. So these are online synchronous classes. There's no in-person requirement. and you can expect the 3-hour class sessions as well as work coaching practice outside of class. And Jessica will go a bit more into that later on. You can only complete one class per semester. So there's a lot of content that's built into these courses that builds on each other. So you can't double up or triple up, even though I know you may want to. So it's one class per semester. We are launching the first course this fall, which is very exciting. So registration just opened up this week. And then we will be launching the next courses over the course of the next year. So course 2 will be launching in spring 2027, with the third and final course launching in fall 2027. So if you do want to start this fall, you can take course 1 in the fall, course 2 in the spring, then you'll have a little break in the summer, and you can finish it up next fall in 2027. But we will be having intakes every semester, fall, spring, and summer. So there's not a rush. We're expecting this program to stick around for a while. In terms of the SPS policies and procedures, again, if you've completed a certificate with us, you're probably familiar with this, but you have 3 full calendar years to complete any certificate at SPS. So a lot of people do one class per semester, but if you need to take a break for whatever reason, that's perfectly fine. And then if you happen to go beyond those 3 years, if life gets in the way, please just feel free to reach out to us. We can make exceptions based on a case-by-case basis. So we're always here in case you have issues or things happen. If you declare candidacy for the certificate, we have a QR code right here that brings you to that form. There is a 10% discount on the tuition for each course in the certificate. And this applies to any SPS certificate. So please feel free to check out the other options our department has, other departments. There's a lot of great education that you can take advantage of. And we do have some other discounts available. If you're an NYU alum, if you have a degree from us, you can get a 20% discount. There are veterans discounts. Our registration team, which I'll share their information later on, they have information on those discounts. One important point to note, I know this is probably going to come up in the questions, but if you've taken our executive or professional coaching certificate, we will not be able to apply any sort of credit from that program into this program. So this is a standalone program. It was developed specifically to incorporate these health and well-being concepts into each class. So even if you have that foundation of coaching skills, you'll still need to start with the first class in this program. And that's not just our policy, that's with the NBHWC, which we'll get into in a little bit. So unfortunately, we can't do any substitutions or transfers. How to register. So for course 1, you can register online on the website. I will be posting that in the chat. We'll also share it in a follow-up email. So you can register online right away. You can call our registration team. Their information's here, their phone number, their email. For courses 2 and 3, when registration opens for those semesters, you'll need to call to register. And that's just so our team can verify that you've taken the prereq classes. And registration is semester by semester, so you'll pay for one class at a time. There's no like prepayment or lump sum required. And the registration team can provide you with information on payment plans if you need that. Again, their information is on the slide, and we'll share this afterwards. So as I mentioned, fall registration is now open. Spring registration for 2027 will open in October. Summer registration will open February 10th of next year, and then fall 2027 registration will open on April 21st of 2027. Now, we are very excited that this program is an approved training program with the National Board for Health and Wellness Coaching. This was a big endeavor, and Jessica did a huge amount of work to make sure this program not only aligned with their accreditation standards, but was of a high enough quality to be able to be called an NYU certificate. So we're very excited about this. If you're not familiar with the National Board for Health and Wellness Coaching, Jessica will talk a bit about it. She is obviously a certified coach, but they are the leading organization for health and wellness coaching. And we actually had a webinar yesterday with their executive director. We'll include that link in our follow-up email as well. But if you're in the coaching field, you know that this is growing, and it's a really important aspect of not only workplace benefits, but just in general, being able to provide these services to folks. So we are excited to be an approved training program. What that means is that once you complete our program, you will have completed one step of being eligible to take the national board exam. Now, it's important to note that just from completing our program, you will get the official NYU School Professional Studies certificate, but you won't be a certified health and wellness coach. That requires another step. That's something the NBHWC handles. We do have the requirements to apply for the exam listed on this slide. I would recommend always getting your information from the NBHWC first, because things could change. But to apply for the exam, you will need to complete an approved training program. So that's us. You'll need 50 health coaching sessions, and there are some requirements for those coaching sessions. So I'd recommend looking at the website so you're familiar with those. And then the education requirement, you'll have to have at least an associate's degree or higher, or have 4,000 hours of work experience. So just to reiterate, you will not have an NBC-HWC credential when you finish our program. There are additional steps. You'll have to apply for the exam, then you'll have to pass the exam in order to be a certified coach. And Jessica will also talk a bit more about that later. Let me just check and see if there are any questions I can address right now. I completed the professional coaching certificate at NYU. How does this certificate differ from that certificate? That's a great question. Jessica will get into this a bit, but this certificate focuses on coaching people with their health and wellness. So there's a lot of medical information you'll be learning. You'll learn more. It goes into obviously the ethics of coaching, medical ethics, HIPAA. So it's meant for folks who want to coach people in the health and wellness environment. So sometimes that's being part of a medical team. Sometimes it's working on your own with people, but it does focus more on the health and wellness aspect. And like I said, Jessica will get more into that later. Is the certificate meant for someone who doesn't have experience in coaching? If you already have experience in coaching, will this be too repetitive? You'll definitely be learning some skills that you already know, but you'll be learning how to use them in different ways. So if this is an area of coaching that you'd like to get into, I definitely recommend looking more into it. It's definitely a growing field, and we're seeing more demand for it. We'll be talking a lot about it at our Coaching and Technology Summit this summer. Like I said, Jessica will talk more about that. She's also an ICF certified coach, so she can talk about the differences between those two aspects. What opportunities will students have to practice what they're learning with clients? Jessica will get into that. What's the difference between the NBHWC and the ICF? I addressed this a bit, but NBHWC focuses specifically on health and wellness, whereas ICF is coaching sort of in general. I'm an NYU employee and will be applying tuition remission. So if you're an NYU employee, you can reach out to the registration team and let them know you'll be using tuition remission, and they can walk you through that process. I believe you'll have to submit your request through the tuition remission portal beforehand. How many students will be in each class? That's a great question. The classes are capped at 10 students. So it's a small, intimate environment. That's how our executive and professional coaching classes are set up, and we find great success with that number of students. All right, the tuition remission. Will in-person classes be offered or online only? At this point, we're only offering the online synchronous classes, so they will be live, but via Zoom. All right, and I think the rest of these questions Jessica will be addressing in her portion. So without further ado, Dr. Jessica Singh.
Hi, everyone, and welcome. And thanks for these wonderful questions. I'll also go into them more at the end. As we were sitting here, if you also just like to share where you're from and what inspired you to come to this info session, it would be wonderful to learn more about that from you guys in the chat. And so I will go ahead and start by going more in depth into the certificate. And then at the end, there'll be more time for Q&A. And so basically, just as Renee mentioned, this is a dynamic 3-semester program, and it delivers a very comprehensive evidence-based coaching education through live instruction, which is online instruction for now. I know that was one of the questions in the Q&A. Small class sizes. So each class is capped at 10 students to really optimize the learning and individualized attention. In addition, each student will have the opportunity to have one-on-one mentoring with a faculty member, at least an opportunity for this each semester throughout the certificate program. And so what does dynamic mean? Dynamic, for anyone also who's done coaching before, and this question has come up, is this just for people who are new to coaching or those who have experience as coaches already? It's really for both. Just as with clients, we meet people where they're at. In coaching, we do the same for us with coaches. We're all adult learners with so robust, rich backgrounds, life experiences. And so the beauty of this program is really applying the coaching skills wherever you are in life and to empower that health and well-being knowledge, not just for medical professionals. But since this program, the certificate, is so interactive, as you know, the class, yes, is definitely shaped by the teacher, but more so by the students. Anyone who's gone through a coach training or there's such a special gift of being with your classmates and how much learning comes from that. So no two classes ever end up being the same just because of you, the people who are taking the class. And so basically this certificate program features an innovative curriculum designed to meet the landscape of health and sorry, it's hard to read the slide with the chats. I'm just going to go off the side 1 second. So what this program basically does is integrate key pillars into coaching and healthcare. So combining behavior change, fundamentals of chronic disease prevention, and self-management and health promotion into a robust evidence-based approach. And the key part of that is obviously people who are going to go into the field of health and wellness coaching and who are there have so many different backgrounds. You saw the national board requirements. You need an associate's degree or 4,000 hours of work experience. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have people who are PhDs, doctors. There's so many different people. So what this is meant for is really to make this knowledge accessible. We learn how to take it where we are at and how to also meet our clients, the people we're coaching with respect to where they are in their health and well-being knowledge, and to stay within our scope of practice, right? Because health and wellness coaches, we don't diagnose, we don't treat or give medical advice. And so we really teach throughout this program how to do that in a way where you are not responsible for having all the answers, but you are going to be able to recognize when someone needs help, when they should be working with their doctor, those kinds of things. So it's really empowering in that sense. And this program is also grounded in a whole person approach that integrates mind, body, spirit, and environment. And so basically, unlike modern treatments, right, it's that all these coaching is inherently individualized and can't be really addressed with a one-size-fits-all approach. So in this course, everyone will build a foundation in coaching skills, tools, and strategies that are rooted in both theory and practice. And you guys are equipped to have coaching sessions, both individual and group settings. So in the third class, in the advanced skills, you'll actually, in addition to learning how to coach individually, you'll have a chance to practice group coaching and also laser focused coaching and receive feedback in real time for that. In addition, since coaching is an evolving art and practice, you will also learn how to, by the end of the certificate program, be able to understand how to mentor yourself, how to help mentor other colleagues, and how to continue developing your practice to continue to learn as a coach. Someone asked the question, what's the difference between NBHWC and ICF? And ICF has been around for a long time. It's the International Coaching Federation. Their credentialing process is quite different from NBHWC. They have different levels of certification, different levels of education and experience required. Mentoring is required in order to become credentialed and to sustain continuing education, renew credentials, and go from an associate to a professional coach and ultimately to a master certified coach. The National Board for Health and Wellness Coaching has very different competencies, even though there are overlaps with the International Coaching Federation. And one of the biggest reasons they've done such a tremendous job to standardize things is because only by standardizing health and wellness coaching could it integrate into the healthcare industry. There has to be credibility, right, and legitimacy to what is coaching, how are these people being trained, and they've done a tremendous job. I think they're over, I know Deanna just said this yesterday in our webinar, there are over 125 approved programs, maybe that number is 145 right now. And they have also worked hard to get insurance reimbursement. And so as the field keeps growing, as there's more evidence-based knowledge and research being done, it will be more and more integrated into our healthcare system. And so I'd just like to go over the certificate overview a little bit. So as Renee mentioned, there are 3 courses. The first one is Foundations of Health and Wellbeing Coaching, which will be semester 1 offered this fall. The second will be Coaching Theory and Skills for Health and Wellbeing, which is in semester 2, which will be spring. And then in the fall 2027 will be Advanced Skills in Health and Wellbeing Coaching and Practical Applications. And so just an overview of the certificate structure. Each course meets weekly for 3 hours live online sessions over the course of 12 weeks. And again, to optimize learning, there is a max of 10 students per cohort. In addition to in-class time and asynchronous learning, each student has one-on-one 30-minute coaching and mentoring call with a faculty member per semester. For those of you who are familiar or already certified by ICF, part of their credentialing process is submitting a recorded coaching session that is then observed. So in the certificate program, we have designed it in that each learner will have the opportunity to submit a recorded coaching session at the end of each semester. And that's where that one-on-one faculty call will come in for mentorship on that observed coaching session. So we get to integrate it throughout each semester of this program. Faculty will also have office hours, and something to know is this is a rigorous academic program. And so if you sign up for this certificate, which we hope to see you there, please be sure to allocate enough time to really do the work and learn the material, including outside class coaching practice. And so it's suggested to keep an additional 3 to 5 hours total each week for coaching practice and asynchronous learning. In the first semester. So the first course of Foundations is where you'll learn the fundamental principles and applications of health and well-being coaching. You'll be able to apply foundational skills and tools and strategies to facilitate people being able to have more meaningful insight from within, utilize their own resources, and have more meaningful action in support of their own health and well-being. You will design and implement a coaching agreement that supports a client-centered coaching relationship, and you will learn how to structure individual coaching sessions effectively. There is so much more being taught in course 1, but this is just highlights, right? And so in course, so the dates of this will be offered on Wednesdays, September 16th to December 9th from 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And we will not have class the week right before Thanksgiving in observance of the holiday. So for course 2. In course 2, we go over more in-depth fundamental coaching theories, models, and approaches to support behavior change and enhanced health and well-being. We establish a foundation of coaching strategies to approach whole person health and really ground in on ethical coaching practice, which is so important to this field. In course 3, the final one, advanced skills in health and well-being coaching and practical applications, you're going to be able to analyze and refine your coaching skills and practice. So whether you're a coach who's been coaching for a long time or you're someone new to coaching, you'll still develop these skills. You'll be able to learn about how to fulfill health and well-being coaches in different types of coaching settings. So whether it's a business setting or if it's in a healthcare setting. And you're also going to be able to evaluate and help support practical applications of coaching in healthcare settings. So really by learning how to become a health and well-being coach, by taking NYU certificate alone, you will be able to then be able to advocate for this work outside of the course in other industries and also help create sustainable change. And so key features for our program is that this foundation is an evidence-based science, health and well-being science, also the science of coaching, and a whole person approach to health and well-being. The health and well-being content is also integrated throughout. So I actually had the pleasure of taking NYU's executive coaching certificate. I know I saw in the chat there were some people here asking about their professional coaching certificate. And in my first coach training before NYU, sometimes you'll find coaching programs where they'll have coaching and then there's health and wellness kind of sprinkled throughout. This is really different because it's integrated. It's integrated in each class and throughout the entire certificate. So it really helps you ground in those skills. Because the health and well-being content is integrated so much throughout this program, NYU, we've developed higher standards for our faculty. According to the NBHWC, in order to teach the health and well-being component, there are different faculty requirements from regular coach faculty requirements. In order to teach an NBHWC approved program, faculty, of course, have to have the credential. They have to have over 200 hours of coaching practice. But what's distinguishing for NYU is that we require all faculty to at least have a master's degree in health and wellness related field or a bachelor's degree plus a state license and national registration in a nationally recognized health and wellness related field. So NBHWC has this requirement for those teaching health and health component of it. We have this requirement for faculty teaching any one of the courses you take. So it's wonderful because with that, there is such a rich depth of experience being brought in from the instructor side and a high quality. And we've talked about small class sizes. One of the biggest gifts of this program that I feel is, I know a lot of people here have gone through so much education, and one of the things that is so useful is being able to practically apply what you learn, right? So you're studying for something and it's not over once the class is over. The way these assignments, the way these readings, the way things have been designed is that you can start applying it directly into your coaching practice. So for instance, in the first semester, you will design your own coaching agreement. You'll get faculty feedback on that. And so as you go throughout the curriculum, you'll see there other projects, many other things where what you're doing in class will help you way beyond the class. In addition, so in class, each class, I want to say each class, maybe with the exception of one or two, it really depends on cohort size, there will be observed coaching practice, and it will be, so you'll practice on each other with your classmates and you'll have real-time faculty-led feedback. You will also have diet session practice. And so I saw one of the questions about, do we have to find our own clients with this? So in the first semester, the dyad practice will be between you and a classmate, and you'll have the opportunity to do dyad practice with at least 2 different people throughout the first semester. In the second and third semester, in the second semester, you'll also have a chance to practice with your colleagues. In the third semester, you'll go out and find your own person to practice with and get feedback on it, because it's such a rich experience to do that while you're still in an educational setting. And there's a lot to learn. You will also have, so again, as mentioned in the final semester, you'll be learning laser focused coaching and group coaching as well. And we will be embracing AI in this course, which is another wonderful feature of this program. So NYU also, if anyone's coming or planning to come or has been to NYU's Coaching and Technology Summit, please share. But basically, we will be integrating the use of AI throughout the curriculum. So figuring out how AI can help you throughout your coaching journey, throughout your coaching career, where it can be used to delegate, why it's so important to have technology and understanding of it, and how to use it responsibly, especially as you think of coaching sessions and privacy, compliance, all of these things. And so you will also have an opportunity to design things for your business, like I mentioned. So one is the coaching agreement, another is you'll design a coaching program or a coaching offering, and you will have the skills and resources to support long-term growth. I'm seeing a question on what is laser-focused coaching. So traditionally, the coaching, sometimes it's half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour. The art of laser-focused coaching is you have a brief session. So it's like 15 minutes or a shorter session. You get straight to the heart of it. And it's a great skill to have, because sometimes when you work in healthcare environments, the timing per patient isn't that much, but you can still really have a really powerful transformation in a short amount of time with coaching. And so with that, I will see if we can get through some of these questions in the Q&A, if there's anything that hasn't been answered yet. Okay.
Yeah, I think we did a good job answering as we went. Do you just want to speak a little bit about the physical versus mental health, Jess?
Yeah, of course. And I also just want to, someone had asked, is this too repetitive from other coaching certificates at NYU? So I also just want to clarify, for those who are ICF credentialed or have taken NYU's professional or executive coaching certificate, this is inherently different, because the competencies by the National Board for Health and Wellness Coaching, the curriculum is different. And so, yes, like Renee had mentioned, there is going to be some overlap. The basic art of coaching is the art of coaching, but there's more in depth into motivational interviewing, different philosophies, positive psychology, self-determination theory. There's so many different things that we are responsible for that the National Board for Health and Wellness Coaching has really made required. And so that's integrated throughout. So regardless of if you have your coaching credential or not, this will definitely give you another toolkit. And so in terms of the sorry, Renee, you had said the difference between, yes, this course goes into physical and mental health. It is focused on all components of health, including the environment, including addressing mind-body techniques as well. And there'll be a point even where you guys will be able to start grounding and checking in with each other and leading demonstrations that way. So it's really meant to learn to grow in this very non-judgmental exploratory space to learn.
Great. Thank you so much, Jessica. Does anyone have any other questions? I know you can't unmute yourself since it's a webinar, but if there are any other questions, please feel free to put them in the chat or Q&A. What days are classes? So for the first class this fall, we have it scheduled for Wednesday evenings. And someone else mentioned if there's just going to be one section. For right now, we're offering the Wednesday evening section. However, we're going to monitor the demand for the course, and we're prepared to open up another section if need be. Oh, you're very welcome. Do you know, second, we'll also be in the evenings. So that is dependent upon faculty's availability. So Jess, I don't know if you want to speak to that a bit.
Sure. So for now, at least in the fall, there is one evening class if so happens, and things change, we will try to accommodate for more timings and consider having a daytime. It really just depends.
Yeah. I'm just going to step in here. Given the kind of what we've observed on the ICF side, and we've had the ICF certification, we're similarly accredited with ICF. And the growth of the certificate, we now have 4 or 5 sections going strong. So we will expect that we at this point we have one class scheduled, but we're creating the capacity as well as recruiting faculty. And as Jessica pointed out, this is going to be a very, very strict selection process for the faculty. As you can see, Jessica herself is very highly qualified, coming from the medical side of the profession, but the paths to this particular skill set and potentially, career opportunity really can come from anywhere. But there are basic requirements for getting the accreditation with the national board. As far as NYU is concerned, there are no barriers to entry. Anyone with a desire and motivation to be jumping in and taking that certificate, you're very welcome to join us. And in addition to that, I think what I would say, the ability to participate in the broader NYU community with various available free educational and continuing education resources that will be important to maintain your credentials going forward. All of that is built into how we structured this certificate. All right.
And just to address the course scheduling once more, Yaniv pointed out the daytime courses were difficult. We do recognize that a lot of folks do work a traditional 9 to 5, so we do try to prioritize the evening courses. And then we do like to offer the daytime courses to folks whose schedules those work better for. But initially, we will be offering evening courses for each of the courses. So if there aren't any other questions, we will be sending out this recording to everyone. We have our department email on the screen right now. I'm putting my email in the chat if you'd like to reach out to me directly if you have any other questions. Otherwise, the first course is open right now for registration if you'd like to start in the fall. And we thank you very, very much for attending. We're very excited to have this program launching, and we hope to see you in the virtual classroom this fall.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.